Hey YouTube, today we'll be solving Fibonacci number problem from Leetcode. Let's go through problem statement. The Fibonacci numbers commonly denoted Fn form a sequence called Fibonacci sequence such that each number is sum of the two preceding ones starting from 0 and 1, that is f0 is 0 and f1 is f1, and after that like sum of previous two. So let's try to create the sequence. So first two numbers are 0 and 1, then after that each number is sum of the previous two. So next will be 1, and next will be sum of previous two, 1 plus 1 2, and then after that 1 plus 2 3, 2 plus 3 5, 3 plus 5 8, and so on. We will be solving this problem using dynamic programming. So let's create one dp array or vector. I'll be creating one vector with size n plus 1, vector of integer n plus 1. I'm initializing all the values with 0 as of now, and then we'll create base case. So let's handle the base case first. So if value of n less than 2, we'll be returning n. So like 0th element is 0 and first element is 1, and now since dp0 is already set to 0, and we will need to set dp1 to 1. Then after that we can loop through from I is 2 to n, and since the next number will be sum of the previous two, so dpi is dpi minus 1 plus dpi minus 2. So for the base case, let's understand the base case. If n is 0, we will be returning 0, and n is 1, we will be returning 1. We are handling this part of the function, and after that we are just initializing one array, and we are initializing base value dp1 is 1, and after that we are, for every I, we are just summing previous two numbers. We are taking sum of previous two numbers. Let's return dpn. Let's go through some examples given. So for n equal to 2, so assume it's dp array. So dp will be initialize. After the initialization, we will be initializing size of 2, size of 3, 2 plus 1, that would be 2 plus 1, and all the initial values are 0. And after that we will be setting dp1 is 1, so the array will be dp1 0, and in next step we will loop for I equal to 2. So this is I equal to 2, this is the second index, and for this one we will be adding these two numbers, that would be 1, and now the answer will be 1, so that is correct. Let's go for n is 3. Equal to 3, we will initialize array of size 4, and we will set like first value to 1, and after that for I equal to 2, it will be 0 plus 1, that would be 1, and after that 1 plus 1, that would be 2, and we'll be returning 2. And let's do same for n is 4. So array will be of size 5, and the first value will be 1, and then after that we are summing previous two. So this one will be 2, this one will be 3, that is our answer. solution looks good to me. Let's try to run it with default inputs. It is accepted, and let's submit the solution. Looks like it worked. So okay, we can, if you want to optimize this solution, we can do one thing. Since if you think about it, let's go through here. Okay, let's take some example. Assume we are solving for n equal to 4. Then for this one, the array will be like 5 size, and the first element is set to 1. Then for next element we are adding previous two values, that would be 1, and the next one is 2, and then it's 3. That's the sum of these two. So if you see, there is a pattern over here. So like these two are the base cases, so these are given, and for this one we are adding these two numbers, and for this one we are adding these two numbers, and for this one we are adding these two numbers. So technically we don't need all these previous numbers, we only need like last two numbers. So what we can do, we can store only two numbers, like first and the second, and then after that we can just keep replacing that. There is one more possible solution of this one. Okay, so to do that solution, we will be using two variables, num1, that's like base value, num2, that would be like first value. So kind of we are doing something like this, like num1, f0 is 0 and f1 is 1. Then after that, what we need to do, we need to run for I equal to 2 to I less or equal to n, and then I plus plus. So let's create one more variable, temp num, and that will be sum of num2. So let's take, like in that case 0, 1. So for I is equal to 2, we are over here, so we are trying to calculate this number. So this is like sum of 0 plus 1, we got the 1. Now we need to replace, we need to store num2 like somewhere, and then we need to replace this number. So let's do that. So for this one, what we can do, we can create num2 copy equal to num2, and we can do num2 equal to temp num, and num1 equal to num2 copy. Or we can do one more thing, we can store like this num2 value before, and we can directly store that value over here. So let's do that. Num2 copy, that's for like storation purposes, so we don't lose that value. And then we can do like num2 is equal to num1 plus num2. So for this one, it will has value of 1, like first iteration I'm talking about. Then after that the value will be stored to 1, since they are same. Let's take another iteration, it will be easier to understand. So this value will become 1, and this value will become 1, and for this one it will be 1, and for this one it will be 2. So after that we need to like num2 is correctly set, we need to add like num1 to num2 copy. So now we have this value as 1 and this value as 2. So let's go through the code. with an example. Okay, let's pick one example. Let's take ns3. So initially num1, let's set comment. It's really hard to type here with no comments. Let's take ns3, and for initially two values will be there. num1 will be 0 and num2 will be 1. So for I is 2, since we are starting our loop to I, so num2 copy, this will be copied as 1, and then this will be like 0 plus 1, so num2 will become 1, and then afterwards num1 will be like stored value, so this will also become 1. For I equal to 3, num2 will become like sum of previous two, that would be 2, and num1 will be the copy of previous one. So it looks good. So as of now, let's try to return num2, that's like most updated value. Okay, the solution got accepted. Okay, so if you see, like, the speed is increased and the memory use is also less. We are storing only three variables like this one and one for the copy. So this solution looks really good. So that would be all for today. We'll see you with next video. Thank you. Bye.